everybody, welcome back to the Mass Chaos channel, the YouTube channel. I know it's been a while since I've made any videos. Man, YouTube's tough when you're at the track working on the car. Most of you know that have seen a couple of my videos know that I kind of model this channel off of Clay Milliken's channel. He does such a good job. Man, it's so difficult to be active in the service on the car and doing this also, remembering to get clips and then having time to, clip the video together. Anyway, so here we are. This is gonna be a little bit longer of a video. It's gonna be a season recap of our very brief recap of all of the races, and then I'll give you in-depth description of everything that we did at Havana. If you're watching this, you probably already know we had a great outing at Havana. We ended up winning the season championship. Very, very close with our buddies at Bushwhacker Racing, Cody Austin, driver, tuner Jody Austin. Those guys are great. If it would have came down to the final, we were one round away from it. So it was awesome season, battling out with those guys, and we're proud to call them our friends. And so anyway, we'll get to it. I got some notes down here that I'm looking at. So anyway, first off, some housekeeping. Please don't fast forward through this because everything I'm about to say is so important. Everybody I'm going to mention, it's so important that, to thank them. If you see them on their page, comment, like, give them gratitude. Thank them for being so involved in our series because without them, we don't have a place to race. So first off, our team, we are all very Christian-based, and we'd like to thank God. We are very, very, very blessed to have our health to do what we do, able bodies to go earn a living, to be able to afford to go out and do what we do, and then also the time and the drive to get together as a team, work together, strive for one goal, and this season it paid off, it worked out. So we give all the glory to God, and that's the most important thing. So below that, we're gonna move on down. We have sponsors. So our team has two sponsors, our main sponsor being Trick Tools. Bruce Van Sant, you've seen it all over the car, all over our trailer. Man, he is an awesome dude to work with. Please go check out his page. Go check out his products. They're all top notch. I promise you, you're not gonna buy something from Trick Tools and not be happy with it, I assure you. I'll flash a picture here of our pit. This season we had a multi-tool grinder in our pit and a nice Wilton vise that we had mounted to our service tables. We had those added this winter for this season, and man, they came in handy a lot. Honestly, we had racers coming from other pits to use that multi-tool and the vise. They knew we had it, and that's just how we are. Our whole racing Nitro Chaos community, everyone's there to help each other out. So go check out Trick Tools. They got a whole catalog full of awesome products. Bruce Van Sant, give him a like, give him a follow, subscribe, and then of course his son races Pro Stock Motorcycle with the NHRA. So check them out, watch them in their countdown for the championship battle. So secondly, my dad, David Bowman, he owns Bowman's Wrecker Service. He helps us and sponsored our t-shirts. So if you guys want a t-shirt, you guys can order it send us a message on Facebook, and we can ship. You'll have to pay for the shipping cost, but we can ship you one of our shirts. So if you want one, make sure to message us. We'd love to get you one. So, but Bowman's Wrecker, he helped us out with that. So thanks. So next, our series sponsors. Huge to have them. I'm gonna go down the list. DMP Awnings. We personally have a DMP awning. Dean Dubbin, awesome product, easy to set up. Game changer when you get one. Once you have one, it's kind of like our Trick Tools. It's like, how did we ever operate without it? So DMP Awnings, big title sponsor for our series. So thank you, Dean Dubbin and DMP Awnings. Twisted Shifters, huge sponsor also. McKinney Motorsports, we buy so many things from McKinney Motorsports. Great, they make so much that you gotta look through their stuff. They make more than you would ever imagine what they make. Drop my pen. CP Carrillo, another big sponsor of our series, and then Driven Oil, or Driven, I think it's just Driven. But we use their oil. We've used it all season long. Great product. In fact, we use their assembly lube. It speaks for itself. It's a great product. So, and thank you to them for stepping up and helping sponsor the series. And then last but not least, Katie Butera at Apple Girl Art. She made our championship trophy. I'll try and remember to flash a picture right here to show it. But anyways, thanks Katie for making those. Absolutely awesome. Go check her website out, her page. She makes a lot of neat things. In fact, when we were at Havana, I bought it's a Capco, I believe Capco, I think it was an intake valve with some retainers on there to hold pins. So I had that on my table all week at Havana to hold my Sharpies and dry erase markers. So anyway, thank you to all the sponsors, and then thanks again to our individuals. We got our team, of course, John and Brian and myself, but the guys that aren't in our immediate family that help out, they travel, they take time off work. If you watch this, I want you guys to know, John, Brian, and I want you to know, thank you so much for everything you've done all season long. And we got Larry, Ephraim, Blake, Brian's son, of course, Johnny DeCrife, Larry's son, and then Kevin. You guys rock. Without you guys, this thing doesn't turn. So, and then I'll tell you guys later why a couple of their roles were so important at Havana that we decided to do differently on our service. So anyway, and then of course, the team doesn't end with the guys working on the car. Our wives and moms, the Chaos Women is what I got them wrote down in my notes. Linda, Amy, and Elena. Linda kills it on the food. I'll make sure we all are fed all weekend long. Amy takes care of the social media. Elena also helps with that. And then it takes everybody to chase all our crazy kids around the pit. So thank you to the Chaos Women. And then last individuals to thank before we get into the race recap would be people that help us on the car with parts, tuning calls, consulting them on, hey, we're having this issue at the track. What do you think? Alex Conway, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have this car, bottom line. Scott Shear has been a huge help. Brian ultimately makes the tuning calls, but Scott Shear occasionally gets a call like, hey, what do you think we ought to do? This is what I want to do. So like I said, Brian killed it this year, tuning the car. I hope he watches this and sees this. Super proud of you. It's been awesome working next to you on the car, but killed it this year. But Scott Shears helped also. Pete Dove, thank you, Pete. Nitro Oil, Driven Products. And then lastly on my list I'm probably missing some, but Jim Weens. He's Scott Palmer's clutch guy, but also has a full-time job, and then his side gig fixes blocks and heads. And he's helped us get some heads fixed throughout the season. And in fact, we got a couple to send to him this off season. So thanks, Jim Weens. So, okay, time to talk racing. Start off real quick. We had 5 Chaos races, and we ran the World Fuel Ultra Nationals. Ennis, real quick, it was a solid first outing of the year. We lost second round to the event winner, Jake Sanders. Jake went on to win the final. We lost to him in the second round. And man, he was killing it that weekend. So congrats to Jake. But that was, so Ennis, we lost second round. Then next to our race was Eddyville. Eddyville, it was a tricky track. A lot of cars were struggling, including us. We did not qualify very well. We were in the bottom half of the field. And in fact, that might have been our only weekend or only race to be in the bottom half of qualifying. I might be wrong. Don't quote me on it, but I think so. But we struggled. We line up with Gary Wheeler first round. I think, if I remember right, John had a pretty good hole shot on him, got out on him early. Just bad luck, parts deal for us. The stall springs on our clutch all collapsed. Well, then the clutch fingers hyperextended, tugged the motor down. It made no power. Gary zooms around us, and then he went on to win the race. So Eddyville was a struggle for us. We lost first round. So next event, we come out at Edgewater. Got a whole new clutch. Like I said, once again, Alex Conway, thank you. We went from a 4-disc clutch to a 5-disc clutch. First race out with it. Edgewater was trying. So we qualified okay. And I think I made a post prior to this, but not one time this season we won the championship, as you already know by now. We didn't qualify first a single time in all 5 races. That just says so much about all the friends and family and other competitors that we get to line up with every race. We didn't qualify not one or first a single time. So congrats to all the guys that did. It's tough. So, but anyway, Edgewater. So qualified decent if I remember correctly. The people we raced Gary Wheeler first round. I believe he two-stepped or jumped the gun. He went red. But we went on in that round to run a low ET and high mile an hour of the event. We went 3:56 at 2:17. Second round, we raced Hill. And then third round in the finals, we raced Jake Sanders. And then we ended up winning in the final against Jake.
Thank you, Nitro Chaos Group.
So that was a good race for us. That was the first race on the 5-disc clutch. Some of the things that we battled that weekend, we had oddly a bearing in the blower snout go bad, and it put metal in the case, which got up against one of the seals, and we had lubricant coming out of the blower case. And we're like, well, that's not right. Pull it apart, find the bearing seized up. It's just coming apart. So then we're like, well, that's not something that most people keep. We don't have a spare blower, and we don't have spare blower snout bearings. So kind of wrote it off. We're like, well, that's our weekend. Well, went to bed that night. John was on his phone, found out Napa carries these parts. So he went and found seal, bearing. We ended up using, borrowed a bottle jack. I can't remember who from, if it was Hill or someone else. Borrowed a bottle jack, used the frame of our trailer and our Wilton vise to get, we ended up pressing this bearing back in the blower snout, fought that, got that in there. And I want to say there was something else I can't remember that weekend. But anyway, it was a tough weekend. We ended up winning the race. So that was huge for points. That was first of 3 finals in a row for us. So next race would be Mocan. Mocan, we ended up runnering up at that event. But we raced Dave Hill first round. You probably saw pictures of that wild ride. I'll flash it right here. It's a pretty wild ride. Dave got pretty close, but he kept it off us. He did a great job. But we won first round. Second round, we had Anthony Whitfield. And then third round in the final, we raced Cody Austin. That's the round that if you probably watched the event, if you didn't, John and Cody took a little while to stage. I don't know that had anything to do with what happened to us. John ended up having a pretty good hole shot on Cody, got out on him a ways, but then it just blew through the clutch. We wore over 240 thousandths off the clutch, had nothing left to grab. Cody comes around and gets dub. So good job for Cody on that one. I haven't made a YouTube on that race, so I hope he watches this video and hears that. So good job, Cody. Good job, Jody. He went like a 367 in the final. So it wasn't like, I think we went a 390 and after it blew through the clutch, but he made a great pass, 367. So that brings us in. Okay, so points. After Ennis, I believe we were 6th. After Eddyville, I think we stayed 6th. After Edgewater, I believe we were behind Dave Hill by 4 points in 2nd. After Mocan, we went into the last race with a 1-point lead over Cody Austin. So we knew coming into it that we had to either lose the same round as him or go past him at that point. And that's before, but qualifying can change that. As you probably saw, if you haven't seen it, I'll explain it here. So, Havana is a tricky track. It was last year and it was this year. They have a transition at 330. It goes from concrete to asphalt. Concrete's nice and smooth, very smooth surface. Asphalt, more porous, lots of little dimples and stuff in the rubber surface, so it makes it difficult to get traction. And also the transition, there's a little bump, so it likes to upset the chassis and it makes it very difficult. So all the guys tuning, including Brian, we're having to work around that. So Havana come in with a 1-point lead after Q1. And by the way, that weekend, Brian made the decision that we normally leak our motor down in between rounds, and if we have one that shows it's not leaking good, we'll pull the head off and put a piston in. We got some rings seized up or something. Well, this weekend we had Larry was there. He's our right side cylinder head guy. Brian does left side, and then bottom end, and Ephraim helps with bottom end. So since we had all our help there, Brian decided, we're going to go ahead and put a rack in of pistons and rods every run, just to make sure that we're putting eyes on every single part, every run, to make sure, because you all know if you leak it down, like a lot of teams do, you might leak it down, and then you have one that's not so awesome. You're like, hey, let's adjust the valve and see if we can, it's just that. And then you waste a lot of time doing that, and you're like, okay, it's pretty good, we'll go ahead and run it. Then you start it up, and you got an oil ring locked up, and it's smoking like crazy. And it just drives you bonkers, and then it can also cost you runs. It's cost us runs in the past, last year. So anyway, we put a rack in every run, and turns out it was the best thing. We might continue to do that every race, just to be consistent and put eyes on our parts, because by the time you waste time leaking it down and doing all that, you're 20, 25 minutes in to where we could have the heads off the rack out in that time. So anyway, we made the decision, or Brian made the decision. We put a rack in every run this race, and it went as smooth as could be. That's a lot of room for error, but our guys killed it. Larry, Brian, Ephraim, they all did great all weekend long. Never had any issues with service time. In fact, we wanted to be first pair out every run so that if there was delays, it gave us more time for service. And we were able to do that all weekend long. We never were pushed for time. So guys, pat on the back to that. That was awesome. So anyway, Q1, we were first pair out, Levi made a single, but we were the second pair out. We went to smoke the tires, went to 380.
I'm going to go worth every penny.
There was like a 2-hour delay for a cleanup by that green fuel coupe, Brian Coleman. And so everyone else had completely different conditions and a different track than we did. It was still tough, but we ended up being number one after Q1. So we go to bed that night. No one wanted to do Q2. It got canceled. So next day, Q3, we come up, first pair out. We go 377, I think, or 76. No, I think we went to 76. And Jake Sanders went to 83. We both smoked the tires in the same spot. Fast forward, like I was talking about the points, Cody Austin, he comes up, and Jody, he absolutely, oh, and by the way, they hurt a rear end, changed the rear end, changed the gear ratio, and still come out of the box, first run, go 366, straight to the top. Gary Wheeler comes in, goes 373, and we went at 376, so that put us number 3. So if you don't know our point system in the Nitro Chaos Series, number 1 qualifier gets 8 points, number 2 gets 7, all the way down to 8 getting 1. Well, if Cody's 1 and we're 3, he got 2 more points in us. That switched us. So now Cody Austin was leading points by 1 round or 1 point heading into eliminations, and there was only 14 cars, so there was a 7-car A field, and a 7-car B field. So he had a first round bye in the first round also. So that we were lined up, we got paired with our buddy James Gilliland at Psycho 2 Racing, Lurch's car. So we had lane choice. we come in and we smoked the tires again, but James also had more issues, and I can't remember what we ran. I know James I thought he went a 390 something, but I think we went a 377 maybe. I could be wrong, but anyway, we won the round.
Yellowland has trouble keeping her shiny side up, but makes it John Umlauf going to pick up the win, 377 with a 971 miles an hour.
Cody obviously had a bye. He stages the car and they win. So on to round two. We get paired up with our buddy Jake Sanders at the Dennis the Menace car. Jake is solid. Yeah, man, he's solid. So you gotta throw the coals to it when you're racing Jake. Anywhere, everywhere you go. So we come in. We made some changes. We consulted Scott, called some people. It's like, hey, we've got to get this car down the track. If we don't, we're not going to win the round. And sure enough, it pays off having a support system, man. The motor was happy, not dropping holes all weekend long. Brian has that motor, I mean, just working great at this. And anyway, so we made some other changes that helped the car get down the track. And we end up setting low ET and high mile an hour of the event, went 365 at 217. The race was a lot closer than the numbers show. You'll see in the videos. Jake went, I think, a 383 at, I think, 183. But man, it was tight until he uses a Canon, or clutch management. So when that starts coming in, he starts spinning the tires. I mean, so you can see in this video where he starts to spin the tires, and that's when we were able to edge him out. But it was a tight race. So anyway.
leave nothing behind. John Umlauf with the win. 365 knocks, nearly a tenth out of his previous match.
We get past second round, so we're towing back, and Cody Austin comes up, and he is running Brian Inoue, or I'm going to pronounce it wrong. Brian, if you watch this video, I'm sorry, but he's running the red dragster, the front engine dragster. So we're watching. Cody ends up smoking the tires. Brian makes a solid lap down the track. I think he went to 380 something. So at that point, we knew we had the championship won. So that was good. It was a lot of pressure off, but coming into this race, if you saw John's interview with Lee, we knew that if we were able to focus on the race and not worry about the points, everything would fall together. So going in the final, same thing. Even though we won the championship at that point, we were focused on winning the final. So we raced Brian Inoue in the final. Once again, we had a delay behind Andy Fangman, got crazy wild. He had an oil line come on, burned a piston, put boost into the motor. It blew, from what I was told, this is third-party information, it blew the breather tube off the valve cover, got under the slick. He kept it off his opponent and the wall. So, but we had a lengthy, I think we had a couple hour wait before the final. So anyway, tricky track, the conditions changed so much. We smoked the tires again. I think we went like a 387 to Inoue's, I think he went a 4 flat or 403. So we ended up winning the finals. I have all the video here.
John Umlauf going to pick up the win.
was a great weekend. And yeah, it was just a kind of Cinderella story for our team. It was a great way to end the season. So I know this is a longer video. If you're still watching, I appreciate it. So that's all the ins and outs to our season. Once again, thank you so much to our sponsors. Guys, go support them, like their pages, subscribe. I'm telling you, like our Trick was one of our big ones. The Vices, the Multi-Tool, they have so many things. Go support those guys. I mean, it's a great company, and it's an American company. It's not foreign stuff. So anyway, so thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. Like I said, if you guys are interested in a T-shirt, one of our team T-shirts, the black one, I'll flash it right here. If you guys want one, give us a message. We got, I forget all the ways, payment. I think we got PayPal, Cash App, whatever. Just message us. We'll get it worked out. If you guys want one, we'll get you 1 cent. So thanks again, and stay tuned for some updates on our plans for 2026. We don't have them nailed down right now. I mean, there's so many things going on. So, but you can rest assured we'll be out racing some. So look for us, keep following us, and thanks for watching.